You're too cute. How could you have worked in the Peace Corps?
Oh, I wasn't cute in the Peace Corps. I was a muddy, dirty little Peace Corps volunteer.
Well, you know,
my number is no. Hey, folks, it's been a month since you've heard from us the last time around.
And we're here again today bringing you a live update. Well, I guess it won't be live by the time they see it.
No, it won't be live, but it will be still current events as far as it goes, and an update on our shenanigans over the last month. And this time we're drinking wine. And
cheers.
Full disclosure, we are a couple glasses in, so you should probably go ahead and pour yourself a glass if you're watching and just catch on up.
Catch on up.
It'll probably be more entertaining that way.
Well, we've been talking a lot about paint recently.
Yeah, paint's been the bane of my existence over the last couple of weeks.
It really has.
Although I don't mind it. It's in the best way. But we've learned a lot of things through this exercise.
We have.
Let's give a little background. So, first of all, Lila decided she's done with my lap. So we have a client with an excellent property. It's a very awesome property. Carries a lot of value in a lot of ways. People aren't seeing it because
they're blinded by the paint.
It's got a lot of wild colors.
And honestly, we've had this happen before in the past with previous properties that we've taken to market, and, you know, for whatever reason, the seller was not able to, or was not willing to change the paint, and we had to go through this process. So this isn't the first time we've experienced this. However,
to be fair, hold on, just to piggyback off of what you just said, because a lot of times we're the ones who get the text messages from people going, why didn't you have your client paint?
Yeah.
For the record, typically what happens is by the time we've approached the subject of painting, we've already approached the subject of very more important things that are going to cost them dollars during inspection or renegotiation.
Yep.
And they've begrudgingly agreed. So by the time we cover the topic of paint, usually it's like a non-starter at that point. Like, there's just no way. I'm not going to do it after you told me to do X, Y, and Z.
Yep.
So anyway,
I
sorry
agree.
if I cut you off. Go ahead.
Nope, I totally agree. So, yeah. So this particular property, what colors do we have? Or what colors in general have we dealt with?
What colors don't we have?
I know.
The colors.
Skittles is what comes to mind.
It's Skittles. It is Skittles. It's pink, it's green, it's purple, it's red, it's 2 shades of green.
And listen, I'm all about dopamine decorating. I think that there really is an art behind that. It's been proven certain colors make you happy, but unfortunately, when you're going to sell your property, you need a complete, very stark, clean slate, right?
Yeah. Well, that's it, because people, they can't, number one, see past anything other than a blank canvas. But number two, when your personality as a seller shines through as they're walking through the home, then they start wondering about you and they're not looking at the house
So
anymore.
It's distracting.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
So the debacle we got into with this one was that, unfortunately, it had come to our attention that for the 4th time in a row, someone had driven by the property and afterwards chosen to cancel the showing and not come in and see it at all after they'd already booked it because of what they saw when they drove by.
Right. So the paint also was not just on the inside. It was also overflowing to the outside too, as far as color.
Yep. Garage door, trim, everything. And at that point also, you know, that's 4 people that we know of that didn't walk through the house. There's countless people that we never even got a phone call who have that feedback, but we just don't know about it.
Yeah, there's potential buyers that had skipped the property because, unfortunately, the color was not appealing to them.
Right. So we decided to take it to social media, because this is something we've been dealing with throughout our entire careers, is paint colors and explaining to them that people can't see past them. Nobody wants to take our word for it.
No, and you know, obviously sharing this with our peers and with the general public and getting the information that we've been able to collect is very compelling. So why don't you get into it? Why don't you share? First of all, what did you do? And
So I went ahead and posted on 3 very active nationwide Facebook groups of active real estate agents. And I put up there a post, a few pictures of a very colorful home that we've got listed. And I said, you know, scale from 1 to 10, please share with me your market where you work in the country. And also a scale from 1 to 10. 1 being these colors are appealing and my buyers would love them, to 10, These colors are so hard. They will kill my showings. They will kill my offers, and they will hurt the sale significantly and financially. And the results were resounding. Nationwide, and to say this, the other reason why I took it to social media nationwide was because I was under the impression, all these years, I have had the false impression that it's Florida buyers
that are this picky,
that are fickle buyers. Yeah. Because I grew up in New England. In New England, our homes are all like 200 years old.
Yeah.
You know, the least thing you'd be thinking about is
changing paint.
No, you're worried about cloth wiring and cast iron pipes and, you know, insulation and that kind of thing.
Right. So paint's just a distraction. It's not anything. It's,
I don't even know if I don't know what I thought. I thought up there people don't even think about paint. They consider that they are gonna plan to paint. That's what I said. That's what I even told the client. I said, well, if this was New England, it would be different.
Yep.
Wrong. So
what are the results?
The results were, so first of all, average nationwide. The average nationwide was a 9 out of 10. Meaning, yeah, paint is going to significantly hurt your sale and it will kill your offers. Which was kind of crazy because I also went ahead and looked at region by region. And there was one post specifically from a gentleman in Massachusetts, New Hampshire, where he works, which is my stomping ground, my hood, my false idea of people up there are more lenient with paint colors. Flat out nailed it. He was like, no, this is a 10 out of 10. These are hard paint colors. No one would go for these paint colors. And I said, oh my gosh. All right, so that was a debunk on me. And then what was our most like tolerant region was the Midwest.
Which is crazy. Okay.
But still, the Midwest gave the paint colors a 7.9. So it's still damning for houses with colorful walls.
These are all high, or I should say low tolerance because the number was so high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was it. And there was not a single person who really voted anything, you know, under a 7, really.
So what were the comments that we got? I know you have some of them to share.
Oh yeah, there were some excellent comments.
Because we didn't just get a vote, we actually got comments.
Yeah, I mean, people, because you know the great thing about these social media groups is that you know people unabashedly share their honest opinion, which was the goal, and we got it. Mm-hmm. So a few awesome comments. There was one agent from Southern California who actually admitted that she secured purchasing a property herself for $25,000 under market value, actually under the nearest comp, because the house had bright colors. And even though that house had a better backyard and a better location, she got like a stupid deal on it because of the paint colors. Yeah. That was interesting. One agent actually said that her seller reduced their pricing by 10% after 6 months of being on the market with crazy colors. Then
this comment's interesting because it goes back to we prep a seller, we go through and we explain everything that we know would bring the property to market and would create an efficient sale. And even though we put this in kind of buckets of what was important, but we did talk about paint in the beginning. We did. And the seller decided not to do it. But this right there, I mean, it hits home after sitting 6 months and then having to go ahead.
Right.
You know?
So that's just, I mean, that just goes to tell you don't listen to the agents. But if you don't take our word for it and you wait for the buyers to give you the word for it, 6 months on the market, and listen to this, 10% reduction, they finally repainted the colors, and they still have not sold the home because 6 days on the market, that's 180 days that someone's wondering, well, what's so bad about them?
Right.
And they're not thinking it's paint. They're thinking it's something significantly worse. There was another's agent advice. It was very blunt. The comments were, quote unquote, repaint or reduce the price by $30,000.
Which goes back to the first comment of it being $25,000 below. So there's that number. So paint essentially will cost you, let's just say $30,000.
Well, 10%.
Doesn't that seem to be?
10%.
Yeah.
Which if you're in a higher price point, oh, we've got bootsies looking at people walking out the windows.
It's okay.
This is what happens when the doggies see people. They got to protect the girls. Yeah, I mean, 10% was like the average rate that it seemed like everybody kept going back to. Oh, we had to reduce by 10%. If you're at a higher price point, $1 million, $1.5 million, 10% is a lot of money.
I know, for paint, for just hiring somebody to just go ahead and take it and paint, and then we'll bring it to market the right way.
Hiring someone for paint is not going to cost you, it's going to cost you less than 1%. Last one that I do feel like is worth
Houston
pointing
one?
on. Yeah, the Houston agent.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You want to share it?
Oh, just that a Houston agent described an open house, and they had visitors that were becoming so distracted by the paint, the colors, that they literally were not even able to walk the entire property. They were so turned off by it. The entire time they were discussing how much, and here's the other thing too, to repaint an entire home, the perceived value, nobody knows, but the number is going to be inflated. So that's what they're saying here, is that the entire time they were talking about how much it would cost to repaint this home.
Which, I mean, hasn't that been always our experience when we have color for people will come in, they're already like wide-eyed when they walk in the door. And
examining everything.
And they're looking at the paint colors going, oh, and they're making snarky comments about this. Oh, they like some color, huh?
Yeah.
You know, like that's the kind of thing. And as they're doing it and they're looking around, they're like, oh, well, it'll cost me XYZ amount of dollars, which is triple the amount of any actual
it's an inflated
paint
number.
job.
Absolutely.
Even if you pay someone licensed and insured and good labor and someone... and then ultimately they never even make it to your updated quartz kitchen or your beautifully redone master bath, because they've already made the decision that your taste is not their taste, and your taste in tiles, countertops, and showers is not going to be the same as theirs. They've already ruled it out, and it doesn't matter what they think it's going to cost to repaint, because they're not going to do it anyway. So anyway, that was a fun learning experience for us to finally... to have it validated in a certain format.
Yeah, we presented the data, we presented photos, and to get this information and to be able to present it, to our sellers. And I think in the future as well, it's great data to be able to share. So
I agree.
Basically across every major region, it's agreed that paint colors can reduce the perceived value even when the actual cost to repaint is modest.
Yeah.
So just paint.
Just paint. Just don't. We know that getting a house prepped.
Paint's a pain in the ass. We know it's a pain in the ass, but it will cost you significantly. So, would you rather just have a little bit of pain in the ass, or would you just like to go ahead and make your top dollar on your house like you want to? Yep. It's the first impression.
And actually sell it within a reasonable time frame, and not carry the cost of carrying that house longer than you thought it was.
Over some paint.
Yeah, over some paint.
All right.
But anyway, that was good. That was a fun lesson for us over the last. You learn something new every day in real estate.
We already knew, though.
We knew.
All we learned was being able to extract this information and to be able to present it in a compelling manner.
Well, what I learned is that it's not a market area thing. It is a nationwide thing. I thought that people in areas that have older homes are more tolerant. The answer is no, they're not.
No, nobody wants it.
Nobody wants to repaint your colors. They can't see past it.
Yep.
So, anyway. That was fun.
The next topic of discussion is that we have a closing coming up, and we're excited about that. Very excited.
We always love closings, yeah.
Yes. This is a property that, we're excited for it to close. And thankfully, though, the reason why this is going to closing is because of the buyer's agent. I mean, honestly, you're only as good as the agent that is involved when it comes to the experience of the transaction. And this agent, I feel, and I know that you'll agree with me, has just been they communicate, number one.
Yeah. Well, God, isn't it so crazy that you can have a profession and not communicate?
I mean, there's a lot of agents and a lot of very high performing agents that do not communicate, which can sabotage a deal.
Yeah.
But this agent communicates, and she also gave the information that we presented to her, and you can explain the situation in a very summarized format, but just basically if there was a concession needed during the inspection period, the answer was
no. I mean, it was just, everything was no.
No.
In fact,
full price offer, short inspection period, 5 days.
Within that inspection, a number of very high ticket items
that impact insurability for the property, but the answer was
no. It's like that song. My name is no. My number is no. No. You need to let it go.
obviously, we fight. We'll always represent our clients, but there are times when we encourage sellers to be reasonable because it's a great deal.
Well, I mean, also, it's also when you have a seller that's saying, I don't want to lose the deal, but.
Yes.
And then they say again, I don't want to lose the deal, but. Okay, well, now I've already heard you twice, maybe 3 times now, 4 times say, I don't want to lose the deal, but.
But the answer is no.
The answer is no.
Our hands are tied. So we were able to make it work. Only I feel because we had a great buyer's agent involved that, she went back with the information that we presented. And I think it's also how you give information. As a buyer's agent, I don't think she was just like they said no. Here's the reasoning behind it. Number one, in this particular situation, we were dealing with a person that's not making any money off the resale of their home.
No.
They're in a deficit.
Yeah.
And it's the way in which she was so professional delivering the no, but there was a reason behind the no. Because the seller's in a negative. So I feel like that's what she did. I feel like she did a lot to make this deal go, beyond the inspection period.
Well, I mean, the two of you worked together. You came to her and you were like, I'm so sorry that my seller is not at all willing to work with your side at all.
And there was a reason behind it, and we understand it.
But that being said, you had built a relationship with that buyer's agent to where that buyer's agent felt confident enough to go back to their client and say, hey, listen, this is not a beat the chest kind of situation.
That's exactly, it's not an ego thing. It's more so just the situation that it entails. But would you say though, there are some agents that don't care to understand?
You'll get a text message after following up on an offer you've, sent in, what you think is a decent one.
Right.
You'll get a text message with just seller says no. Well, okay.
How do you ever get anything done that way?
Why? You have to
in negotiations, it's a give and take.
Lie to us. Give us a lie. Yeah. Even lie to us on a reasonable reason why the answer is no, so that we can take it back to our buyer and explain to them that they're not budging.
And that's what she did, though. She understood everything because her and I would talk, and that's how we moved the needle and got this going. Because both sides could have just been no.
Yeah.
So we have a closing, which we are so excited about. And ironically, paint was an issue in this closing too, but not because of the colors. It was more so removing items from a wall.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You're going to have to paint if you've got fixed items to a wall, nailed in.
And you're pulling it out, and there's going to be this huge open wound, if you will.
Yes.
Right? Because that's what it is.
Floating shelves. Your little cat, walks and things like that.
I'm dying. But
all the things that you've got fixed that you're not leaving for this, for the buyers to just move themselves. And yeah, you've got an open wound.
You got an open wound. But ironically, though, paint in this situation, opposite of the bright, bold colors, this was a gray paint. Very in tune with most buyers. They're going to be okay with it.
Today's modern look.
And these buyers, when they came in, they just loved how the property was presented, how it looked. And that was their biggest thing because they had seen these shelvings in the wall and they were so concerned that day of them, moving in, they have to repaint a wall. So part of their, contingency was we need you to paint and patch the wall, which that's up for interpretation. We'll see how tomorrow goes. But,
by tomorrow, she means the walkthrough, the final walkthrough before closing.
Right. But again, though, paint does matter, ironically.
It does. It matters. It's not one of those things where everyone go, it's not an easy fix. Easy to change.
No.
Nope, it's not.
It was important enough for them to write in the contract, so.
Yeah. So that's that. So that's what's been going on in real estate shenanigans over the last month.
It's been a month.
It's been a month. Yeah.
All right. So now I want to talk to you about something kind of funny because I was thinking about it and how when I first met you, somehow we were talking about you working in the Peace Corps and we're just yapping away. And
this is 10 years ago, by the way.
But it'll tie into why I want to bring this up. And I remember you're talking about the Peace Corps, which I was like, you're too cute. How could you have worked in the Peace Corps?
I wasn't cute in the Peace Corps. I was a muddy, dirty little Peace Corps volunteer.
Well, you had said that. But here's where it gets even crazier. So you were telling me a story where you were in Africa, which this is why I'm bringing this up. You were in Africa living in, a concrete little house that was built in Africa. So it's a concrete little a couple of 4 walls, right? And I guess you had like gone home and your entire place or your walls were covered in crickets, which I want to find these crickets, and I'm hoping that our
I think you're taking 2 stories and melding them, which I can share both. But yes, yeah, there's 2 crazy stories in that.
But whatever this creature was covered, because already when you were telling me this, I was like, I remember cracking up and I'm like, what? Are you serious? This is true? But I want to pull whatever creature it was and like put this up on the screen so people can see that like it was covered and like.
Okay, so first of all, yes, I lived in a town called Bougainville. It's about a 2-hour drive on the one paved road that existed at the time from Bamako, Mali to Bougainville where I lived. So I lived in it was a concrete house.
Okay.
Actually, I had it a lot better than the other volunteers in Mali. Most of them were in villages with your just typical little round mud
like
hut,
little adobes, right?
Roof. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And that was mud.
Yeah.
But you were in concrete.
I was prepared to live in that, but then when they placed me in my town of service, my little village of service, I was surprised to find out that I was very lucky. I had a concrete home with a tin roof.
Well, in the end, it didn't matter because what you're about to share with us.
I mean, to be fair, but I will say the one thing I had that nobody else had was I actually had running water into a shower head.
Oh, and the other people didn't?
Yeah, because there's no toilet, first of all. So there was a water closet, but the toilet is a hole in the ground.
Oh my God.
Over. Yeah, so that was in my water closet, and you put a lid.
This is alarming.
So you put a lid over it so that the cucarachas and whatever don't get in, and the flies.
And so how do they get it out?
So the hole in the ground is called a nyegin. Nyegins typically are dug very, very deep when they're built, like 40 feet deep.
So it just goes into. What if you fell in that hole?
Oh.
Have people fallen in that hole?
Children, like
this is horrible.
In sad village situations, children do fall sometimes, small children.
Because they don't cover it up.
Yeah, sometimes it just doesn't get covered up, or kids, they're going to use them and then they're just not as agile and they slip. I don't know. But so basically it's a deep hole. And then once it fills up.
You don't want to fall in that hole.
Once it fills up, they typically, at the time, they would just cover it over, concrete it over, and then
build
make a
something
new
else?
one nearby.
Oh my
yes,
God.
and then just build
and
a
move the whole house.
It's all done. So that one's done. So it's kind of crazy that I had my own home, my own hole under my roof because, God forbid, whenever that fills up, which mine was brand new. Like,
how bad did it smell?
No, it didn't.
Okay, well, this turned me in a totally different direction. I want to get to the bugs. I'm like dying right now.
Totally different. No, the smell wasn't bad because we were taught us American volunteers were taught to put things into it every once in a while
like
to
what?
Keep it sanitary. Like bleach and
I was going to say dump a whole bunch of bleach or
anything that's going to kill any sort of like bugs,
salt,
larvae, and that kind of thing. No salt. We didn't have salt.
I'm thinking of like a septic system or not septic, sewer.
It would be bleach.
Sewer systems. Yeah, sewer systems, like they would dump salt into the sewer systems.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Oh, yeah.
No salt. They can't afford salt to that amount. No way.
They're just like, you know what? Don't fall in this. And anyway, so this is insane that she's bringing that up. But yeah, so this pretty woman that I've met, how long have we known each other? 5, 6 years?
2017, 2018.
Do the math. How many years is that?
7 years.
7 years. I mean, yeah. So 7 years ago.
No, actually 8.
It's crazy. Point. We've known each other a long time.
I know.
Well, I feel like we have. But meeting you 8 years ago, 7 to 8 years, and talking to you, and adorable girl, and I just felt so connected to you. And you're telling me this, and I'm like, clutch my pearls.
So the 2 stories that you folded in together. So one of them is, when I first moved into that concrete hut. And I was actually really proud. I was like, wow, I got very lucky.
Yeah, you're like, do you want the house tour?
I
can show you around.
For a shower. I mean, it was insane. But I could hear that there was like, especially at night, like the crickets were very loud, as they are in village. It is what it is. And I was like, oh, all right. Well, I could tell that some of them were definitely in the house. I just didn't know where they hide, whatever. And I'm like, all right, they sing to me, right? I'm not going to get mad over crickets. It's not like anything that's going to it's not like a snake that's going to bite me and poison me. It's crickets, whatever.
Right.
All right. So they sing to me at night. It's no big deal. Then you could tell they were starting to duplicate over time because it was no longer like a cute little chorus of crickets.
It was a lot.
It was like in my ears in every corner of the house.
Would you notice it at night only or what?
Night. It was at night only. Then there was actually the time that I went to go put my sneakers on to go for a run through Village, and I felt something moving
in your shoe?
In my shoe, and I pulled my foot out, and a giant cricket leaped out. And
you know what?
Like,
honestly, if I was in that living situation, I feel like I would have gotten to the point where I'm dumping a shoe over and kicking it out because I feel like there's going to be something in there.
At that point, I hadn't yet
learned the
hard but that was the straw that broke the camel's back for me because I was starting to find them like in my snacks, like in my clothing drawers, like that kind of thing. And I was like, I've had it. Like, I don't care that they're not, like, that they're harmless. I've had it. So then I took this, bugs killing, spray that would never be approved. The cricket killer. It would never be approved by the FDA in America. Like, this
like a
is
bomb
like some
that kills everybody.
Stuff. Yeah, like very harsh stuff. And I went across the entire house, every single room, and I just started spraying every window, every wall. I said, forget it. I smoke bombed that place and I got out. And as I'm doing it, I'm watching these crickets fly from,
oh my God,
from every little hidden hole they had.
So they were all in there with you.
They were in the window because, again, I didn't have windows with nice glass. They were open. They were screens built into very poorly constructed concrete, holes in the. So nothing was seamless. There was holes everywhere. So they were starting to jump out from these holes everywhere, and some scorpions too that I was surprised to see. I was like, whoa, I didn't know that was there.
Yeah.
So they're all like dying in the middle of the floor. The scorpions' tails are flipping and the crickets are, but that was that. But I think you melded that story with another story where I'd had someone had given me a potted plant. It was a big potted plant. A previous Peace Corps volunteer had this potted plant that they had kept alive their whole 2 years in service. And so they handed it to me when they went back to America and I took over for them.
Right.
It was a big potted plant. It had tons of dirt in it.
Okay.
And I left the hut and closed up shop for a couple of weeks to go travel to like Senegal. I was kind of bouncing around West Africa a little bit. And when I came back 2 weeks later and opened up my hut for the first time, termites had taken all of the dirt out of the potted plant and had built themselves a termite mound right in the middle of my house. Like just right, like a giant in the middle of my house. And I was like literally like in front of the cute little couch that I had bought at Market that was like handcrafted, like I was like, what the flip? And that one was like, Sophie's not even, I'm not, I'm pretty adventurous.
What'd you do?
I closed the door, locked it right the fuck back up.
And left?
And then I went because I lived in a compound with a family, and I said to them, I got a problem. You need to find someone to take care of it.
What did they do? How'd they fix that?
They found a couple of guys who were willing to make, a few cents off of me. And I don't know what they did. I disappeared and I let them do it. I think they shoveled it out and they just dealt with it. I think they were shoveling it out as termites were starting
okay, so I may have mixed those stories up, but they're equally horrible. And I've seen termites. When I lived, a long time ago in California, I had this little apartment on the water. And for whatever reason, it was covered in termites. And I remember getting home and I had seen like the flying ants. And I thought that's all they were. And I'd gone home after like working out, long day, whatever, get back. I shut the door. The entire door is covered in termites. And it's disgusting.
The door?
The door.
Oh, weird.
Well, but to see all those insects all at once, you're just like, whoa.
Well, it's like a horror movie.
It is. So that, I somehow only thought it was crickets, but still crickets are disgusting. So now we're going to have Avery pull up the termites and the crickets.
Yeah.
So we can see. But anyway, the whole point of this is that you've always, and we went on a tangent with just the grossness. But number one, I love a good
bug story.
You do, and it's funny. But also, though, you've always had a heart to Africa, which you're in the Peace Corps. That's how you were introduced. And it goes into Africa Rising, which is so funny that we're talking about this.
By the way, episode 2 is released.
Well, and honestly, this episode is about animals, but they're the animals that you want to see.
Yeah. The ones that you actually put
what
on your
animals
bucket
are in
list
this
to go
one?
see. The gorillas. That's a
Which
big
is
one.
so freaking cool.
Actually,
Very cool.
You see the gorillas for a second. Actually, come to think of it, it's episode 3 that's going to be the real, like, you come with me on the gorilla experience in episode 3. Episode 2, you get a taste of the gorillas. You get, hippos, giraffes.
It's so cool. There's a lot of great animals there.
Yeah, really. It's, there's just, Uganda has so much to offer, and nobody thinks about Uganda as a vacation location.
No, but they'll see it though once they get like towards the end of your episodes. You stayed in a very luxury hotel, great accommodations. You filmed that part too. So they'll see it towards the end.
More importantly, though, in Uganda, I was just very well taken care of by my tour guides,
Yeah.
at Amatsiko. Shout out to Alex and Alphonse at Amatsiko Tours in Uganda. They took very good care of us. But like, more importantly, they really I felt like, because they were the type of guides that, like, they had dinner with us. We sat in a car with them for hours.
You really got to know them and connect with them.
Yeah, they became friends. And I learned so much more about Uganda just through their experiences and their
that's
stories.
important. I mean, if you really want to do what you've done, and there's, so many different ways to do it, but to have a local tour guide that wants to be involved with your whole experience, would you not say? I mean, that's what it was.
That's exactly what it was. They were very involved. Like Alex, for example, one of his stories are so crazy. The first time Alex ever put on a pair of shoes, he was 14 years old. Ever put on a pair of shoes. That's insane.
It is.
But he says this, and he starts telling me that story. He's laughing at himself because he couldn't figure out how to walk in shoes, and he was crawling.
No, it was probably like the weirdest thing ever, like to feel that.
And then another story he was laughing, telling me about. So as a kid, he's like, I had 2 pairs of shorts. I had my run around all day shorts, and then I had my nice shorts for school and church.
Yeah.
And he said so his nice shorts for school and church were dirty. So he washed them, but he had to go to church and they weren't dry yet. So he was like, oh no, like, what am I going to do? So he decided to dry his nice shorts over a fire to try and, like, speed up the drying process, and made a poor decision, and somehow those shorts ended up on fire.
Yeah.
So then he's like, well, what am I going to do? Like, I'm going to get a lashing if I don't show up for church. I have to show up for church. You wear your running around shorts. Well, his running around shorts, he knew. He was like, if I showed up in my running around, he was like, my humiliation would have been, because everybody else would have been dressed nicely for Sunday school.
Well, it's a respect thing, too.
So you know what he ended up doing?
What?
Stealing shorts from his sister.
No, so it were all.
He actually ended up in short. I mean, they weren't even shorts. It's like a skirt situation, like a skirt situation. He had to steal that from his sister and show up at church while all the kids made fun of him because his only pair of shorts had like lit up on fire. Bless his heart. Anyway, but he's telling me this story while he's laughing, and that's the thing that's incredible about him is that, now he lives a great life. He's got multiple children. I asked him, I said, how many kids do you have now? He said, like, I've got 5 kids. I was like, do they have more than 2 pairs of shorts? So he's like, yeah, they have so many shorts. He's like, they have so many shorts. He's like, they have so much clothes, I don't even know what to do with it.
Good.
Actually, kind of a fun story about that. His school, they do, like, twice a year, they will do here's the clothes that we've grown out of.
I love that.
And they'll do a swap.
Yeah.
Because all the kids are orphans at the school.
Yeah, and they're just recycling their clothes for one another, which makes sense. I mean, we grow out of stuff as children. You grow out so fast, too. So I love that.
I mean, here in the States, we grow out of things, and then you're lucky if your mom knew a mom who had a kid who,
I mean, there are some groups that do that, I think, locally. Like they, especially when like the younger kids, but the mom has to actually want to, like, it's a lot of work to go and find out another,
when
child.
You can just easily buy all new stuff on Amazon.
And have it done, yeah.
Anyway, so yeah.
So I'm excited about the next episode, and that was the whole reason why I brought up Africa. It's the fact that you've had ties to Africa for longer than most people would ever know. And I want to continue talking about your stories in the Peace Corps because I think it's fun to have them intertwine with series, with Africa Rising series, because it kind of makes sense why you went back and did all this.
It's the only reason why I did is because of that experience back then. Yeah. So.
All right. Well, on to the next month. We'll talk about Africa again.
Yes. So you can watch episode 2. It is released. It is on our Beyond the Palms YouTube page. So subscribe. And episode 3 will be coming out soon. So
it's going to be a good one.
It's going to be a good one. Gorillas. And yeah, it's going to be a good one. So subscribe and you'll be notified when it happens. Sayonara.